everyone, happy Sunday. I hope wherever you are and whatever you're doing, you are having a good Sunday. This is actually my second chicken and garden update for the summer. You never saw the first one. I filmed it, and then the 4th mobility conference happened and I went down for that, and I never got to film the Sunday musing to go with it. And so you don't get to see where we were a few weeks ago, which is fun because, which is a shame, because this all looked completely different. I'll see if I can find some footage from that. I'll see if I saved it. But we had a change of plan. Or more accurately, we decided that our flock of chickens were causing too much chaos, or they were causing a quantity of chaos that's about normal for them, but it meant that we were struggling to get into weed the beds, we were struggling to get into plant things. So what we did is we built this enclosure. Now technically our chickens can get over it, theoretically, but they haven't so far. So that's really good for us. Now, what we have in here, I'm so excited about our garden this year because for once we've actually got things in at roughly the right time, though we haven't done a second round of pea planting or a third round, and we really should have. So let's talk you through, she's right here, so let's talk about Astrid first, because Astrid is our Jersey giant. Astrid is coming up on 3 years old and in a very, very miserable mood today. And the reason she's in a miserable mood today is because she's broody. Now, when I filmed this last one a couple of weeks ago, she was broody. And then she stopped. You know, we got her back to not being broody. This time we didn't manage to break her broodiness. I know a lot of people don't worry about that, but with our particular chicken here, lovely Astrid, she will go for 21 days, and if you leave her to herself, she'll basically just sit in the coop and she won't do anything. It doesn't matter how hot it is, how hungry she is going to sit on those eggs. We don't have a rooster, the eggs are not going to hatch, so what we do is called breaking her. It means that we pull her out in the morning and we stop her being in the coop and being able to go and sit on the eggs. We don't have a broody box. I know some people have a broody box, and we may have to build one because Astrid is the most incredibly broody chicken. But anyway, she is out today. You're gonna stand still for a photo? No, she's gonna show you her butt, which is a very Astrid thing to do. Come over here, Astrid. No, yeah, that's her opinion of being filmed. Yeah, Astrid's not big on being filmed. So we broke her of her broodiness, and then a couple of days ago she started screaming, which is what she does coming up to her broody time, and we were like, no, she can't possibly, she's only just stopped being broody. Yes, she can. Yeah, she's broody again. So for the next couple of weeks, hopefully for the next week we'll do it. We'll just pull her out, we'll pop her on the roost at night, because otherwise she'll go sit in the box at night, and we will section off a chunk of the coop in the morning, of the run in the morning. So over here is our chicken run. I spend very little time in here. This is our chicken run, and kind of halfway across we can put in a section to stop her being able to get out. That has water, it has food, so she's fine, she's just miserable. And then as soon as the other chickens have laid, we will take her and let her roam, and she roams with the rest of them as soon as the other chickens have laid. Pippi, you gonna come here? Pippi's never gonna come here. Hello, Pips. Pippi, who's the speckly one, yeah, she is also not laying. I don't know why. She is also coming up to 3 years old, and she is a landrace. She's a Swedish flower hen, and landraces are basically as close to a wild chicken as you're going to get, other than going and catching like one from a feral flock. They are, well, maybe not as close to a wild chicken. They are a race that bred themselves, so they don't do fancy things like a lot of bred chicken races will have colour which goes with their sex. They don't do that. You get your chicken and you find out what sex it is when it grows up. That's not exactly true, but it's good enough. Anyway, so she has stopped laying. I know, Astrid, I'm sorry. She has stopped laying. I don't know why. She's otherwise fine. She's eating, she's drinking, she's pooing. She's being a butt to the other chickens, which is how she normally is. So I'm guessing she's fine. If she starts showing any signs of distress, then we will take her to a vet. We do have a vet for our chickens. Anyway, so let's bring you around here. Over here, down in this area, we have our potatoes. They are ready to be earthed up. Although, as you can see, we've already done a round of earthing because they were planted several inches below the ground. And we have got a bale of straw here. So what we're going to do is the straw earthing. And then when we get nearer fully grown, we'll put earth on top of it because we don't like to buy that much earth. We have plenty of earth. We don't need more, but we need more for that job. Over here, we have things that are struggling a bit. So this is our tomatoes and our eggplants, or aubergines for those who are English. And then over in the back, in this middle bed, we've got our strawberries, which have come up really well. This is the first year we've had decent strawberries, mainly because the bed is fenced off and the chickens can't eat them, because otherwise the chickens would have at them. And then over here we have our sorrel, which is still, well, it's bolted, but it's still thriving. We have our artichokes, which I'm super excited about. We've got a bunch of those coming up. Fennel, some herbs, and then in the middle we have our corn, which is not doing quite as enthusiastically as I might hope. However, I know last week, which is this week for me, Nikki was excitedly telling you about her apple tree. This is one of ours. We have two. The other one is not nearly so full. This one is so full we've had to stake it because it keeps trying to fall over. It was bent over at about 45 degrees yesterday with the weight of the apples. Now, my understanding, and feel free to correct me in the comments, is that through the month of June, a bunch of these apples will drop off and it will say, no, those ones aren't going to work. Yeah, so we're waiting for that to happen. We've taken some off because one of the branches looked like it was going to break. I'm not really sure whether we should continue to take more off or just let it do that. Over here in our second bed, now this one, in theory, the chickens, this is a 4-foot fence, and our chickens can just clear it at a push, but we're again hoping that they just won't be that excited. But down here, we have our squash. These are actually 2 wild squash that just popped up. Hidden in between, we've got some leeks and we've got some herbs, and that's parsley that we're just letting go to seed. We've also got a bunch of borage, and I can't remember what that one is. And then over here we have our asparagus. And our asparagus, I was so excited in the video that didn't get released, I think, because I thought that this year we were going to get to eat our asparagus. Oh, it's so soft. And then we realised that actually it's only been 2 years, not 3, and so we can't touch it, but we did weed and let it do its thing. This over here looks like absolute chaos, so I'm not going to show you on camera because I'm a little embarrassed about it. But this is our berry bed. It's got lots of berries in it. It's also got kiwis that have never produced anything, and they are really thriving. We bought a bunch of native plants at a local native plant sale, so they've gone in, and this here is our rain garden. So this is just here to capture the water that runs off the house, and it more and more looks like a stream. I'm looking for time to come in here and trim it because it's too long. It needs to be shorter than this, but the chickens adore it in here. They come and they come and hide. Over here, see, this is the fun thing about it being so long. I can show you lots of things. And I'm very excitable. Over here is our fig. This is the first year our fig has produced anything. And actually, around the neighbourhood, there are a bunch of fig trees, and they've all done really well this year, which I'm guessing is that sudden switch from cold to warm. But I don't honestly know. Second raspberry over here. This is our cherry tree, which actually has some cherries on it. And believe it or not, in here is our greenhouse. Now, we were originally planning to place the greenhouse approximately, I think on camera, over there, the other side of the fence, because our land actually runs about 10 foot that way, about 3 meters. But we haven't found time to find the corner marker, and we didn't want to build it where it wouldn't be, on our land, obviously. So we put it in here, and ooh, things have got a bit out of hand. But we'll go in. Well, we won't go in because it'll be very warm. Ah, come through. Hello. You're just following. This is Thelma, incidentally. Thelma is by my feet, which is where she always lives. All right, so in here, this is our greenhouse, which is very warm. These are all our tomatoes, and over there we've got some more squash, which is just waiting to go in, and our peppers. Okay. One of the things that we did this year, which we haven't done before, is we have an automatic greenhouse opener, which is really handy because we'd always forget, and it would either be that we forgot at the beginning of the night, or we'd forget in the morning, and it would either be that they froze or they cooked. So hopefully this year that won't be a problem. Hello. So hopefully this year that won't be a problem, and we will get some stuff from there. Oh, look, it's a cherry. This is a cherry. Why can I only see one? There were like hundreds. Oh no, there's another one. The problem is that the birds like them. I mean, it's great for the birds. It's not so exciting for us when we find they've all gone. So that's it out here. Now, some of you have been asking in the comments about Rebecca. And don't worry, I haven't told her. That's probably never happening. But there hasn't been progress, and I'm not one of these people who gets great pleasure from tidying the garage and organising it. I want it to be tidy and organised, but I'm not one of these people who finds that a fun activity. And I think you're going to find out exactly how bad things are. I'm going to show you. Yeah, right. All right. So the reason there hasn't been much in the way of progress on Rebecca is that, one, I'm doing a lot of work on the house. Part of that is down to the eliminationist policies that are going on in large parts of the US, which mean that I want our house to be finished so that if we need to, we can move, we can sell it and go. And that means that all of the stuff in here is like, this is all trim, or this will be trim at some point when I finish cutting it and shaping it. There's a bunch of stuff there that's cut and shaped and ready to go in, but there's also a bunch of stuff there that's waiting. And then my desk has just been consumed by stuff that should be on shelves elsewhere, and I need to come up with a storage system for it because I don't have one. So, and then we are still working on my wife's studio, and so there's a pile of bits relating to that. I'm sorry. When I can, I will get back to her. Sorry, I keep thinking there's a spider on me. Isn't. Anyway, so that's it for the chicken and garden update. But the Sunday musing this week is related to how enthusiastic I am. That was enthusiastic, for those who wonder, about the garden, because I have been super excited about the garden this year. Anyway, let us wind up. Thank you for watching. And on that note, Hello camera, yes. And on that note, we are done with today's video. If you have comments, drop us a polite note in the Discord chat room, on Mastodon, or if you're a Patreon supporter in the comments there. You can also just leave a comment down below. If you want more, subscribe, hit the bell, and follow the links below to regularly support us with a YouTube membership or Patreon subscription. You'll also find links to our Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and Swag store, as well as that aforementioned Mastodon server. Scrolling by on my right, there, is the amazing list of charged up supporters, and shoutouts go to our V2G Patreon supporters: Pedro Muro Pinheiro, Alan Tapper, Andrew Martin, Bennett Elder, Brophy Wolf, Chris Maxwell, Cyprian Laplace, Dan Blair, Gordon C, Hay Esker, John Trammell, Kyle Fox, Mark Eggleton, Peter Dillinger, Raging Fellows, Sean Tucker, Stefan Fremgen, Stephen Williams, Tesla in the Gong, Paul Bricknell, Tony Moss, Kyle Hodgson, Chris Ascenta, Denny Hyde, Lance Charles, Linda Irish, Mike Weeder, and Paul Nelson. And finally, big thanks to our off-grid supporters: Paul Conway, Kevin Burrowbridge, Stephen O'Donoghue, Jim Beness, Robert Flannery, Aaron Han, Ellery Hensley, Rory Litwin, JP Fagerback, Dave Kitchen, Andrew Glenn, Anonymous Freak, Chris and Michael Johnson, Clay Witt, CPU Freak 101, Eric Knack, Joe Bresney, Joe Hughes, John Henderson, Laura Reynolds, Marcel Ward, Matthew Drobnak, Nigel S, Reggie Watts, Will Graylan, and Ian. Don't forget we make videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday and Saturday on the main channel, plus Sunday here on Take 2. And with that, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon, and as always, keep evolving.